Hello everyone, I'm Rob Smith, this is Smith in the Black, and we got a lot of cross currents, we got a lot of earnings coming out here, a lot to keep an eye on. So we've got AMD, PayPal, Google, Gilead all on Tuesday. We've got Exxon as well. You've got Facebook on Wednesday, you got Merck, Lilly on Thursday with Snap and Ford and Fortinet and all that kind of stuff. So we want to be really aware of all that stuff. So let's take a look at what we got here. And so SPY, problem with a lot of these things is how are you going to make this month look good? So the good thing is you got a new month, so you can have continuity that starts racing up here, but we got to be aware of these big wide ranges here. So if we go to the good part is we got an elevated VIX, and oftentimes it's hard to keep that VIX up too high for too long. So if we go down to the weekly here, now at least you can stop these guys out. So and you're closer to going 2-2 to start off the month if they can start rallying them back up. If you go to the daily, we had that power rally outside day. So the question is, how do we outside of these things? These 4 days are inside of these 2 days. So we'll see if we can take that week or how we start off. But one of the important things is understanding the broadening formation, how it works, right? It's a phenomenon. Outside day, that's a broadening formation in itself. So once we were green here, we were looking to rev strat. Inside day, goes down and then starts coming back. And so oftentimes you'll hear me say this could be a back ender. What that means is we want to see how they're going to position square coming into the weekend. And if you go to the 60, you're going to see this. Outside 60, right? After an outside 60. There's your broadening formation that's set up to go cranking up into the highs. So if we go down to the 30, you're going to see this. The outside 30 to poke down, there's your 3, 2, 2, and then the acceleration, you go down to the 15, see this, outside bar here, outside bar here, those are broadening formations on shorter time frames. So when we got out of this thing, this selling was being rejected and continued to be rejected when we took this out, right? And to become an outside bar of these guys. And if that works, then we're off to the races to go see if we can get that outside day, which we got. And here's a nice little 15er here. Here's what you look for. 2 up, 2 down, boom, off she goes. But anyway, let's go down to the 5 minute. And the 5 minute, here was your broadening formation. That's 60. Right, when I say it's a broadening formation on a shorter time frame, here it is. Down she goes, and then boom, once it starts racing back through here, right? We're looking to take this stuff out for sure. And if that works, then we're going to go looking for outside day. So you can wait for that corrective activity here, 2 down, because these are all 2 up after the races. And then boom, when it takes this out, we're going to take that out, which it did. Then you had this vicious one here before the real acceleration. If you go down to the 1 minute, crank this out. Here's that outside 5, that 2 down. It looks like this on a 1 minute. And then that vicious one here on that 5 minute. But here's how you can get in on it, right there. The 2-2 reversal on the 1 minute, and off she goes. And then, so oftentimes you'll hear me say, as things are about to go outside, what's the high of this? To make sure to go outside on that. 441.59. Right? So what did you hear me say? Give me 441.60. So even if you missed it, all that stuff, even if you waited till here, right, on this 1 minute down, that had a high of 440.35, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 minutes. It goes blasting up in the last 6 minutes when options are extra cheap, and we know that they're going outside day at that point. So there was a lot of good stuff there on Friday, walking people through all this kind of stuff, especially newer folks who are just learning about the broadening formation phenomenon. And here's that 5er. We started watching it in here. You can see how it gets tight, and then they get bigger. Thus the name, broadening formations. So anyway, SPY, closer to the 2-2 week to start off, tono earnings. So just be aware of that. If we go to QQQ, Q's a little closer to taking out that. But once again, these monthlies, you're going to have a tough time getting any good monthly signals out of this stuff, right? I mean, you're nowhere near getting out of this thing, right? If anything, you're closer to the downside. But on the daily here, You also had your outside day, so all that kind of stuff. Things looking very similar when the futures are gunning like that. So we'll see. Once again, got to take that week, right? If we go to Apple, and Apple came roaring back, and Apple closer to the 2-2 weaker up too, as well, after doing this. The outside month. And so, once you have an outside bar, a lot of people that want to teach about time frame continuity, the direction. Once you have that, the shorter time frames can definitely take over, because if they're willing to pay up and sell down, they might do it again. Right? Thus the broadening formation. That's why you watch those shorter time frames. And Apple had the inside day gapper, right, and then continuity comes down, but then changes back green here. Boom, off she goes, and had a nice 30 at the end of the day. Here's what you wait for: corrective activity. The 2 down, 2 up reversal back to the previous range, and off Apple went to the weekly highs. If we go to small cappers, monthly, how are you going to make that a good looking month? But we got what we wanted. Remember, we were watching this, that spike high back into this chop range, and then stop all these guys out, which they did. So then you go to the weekly, and you're nowhere near taking this thing out, so be aware of that. If we go to TLT, and TLT, broadening formation on the weekly, and you're going to see that on the monthly here. Stuck in here. There's your higher high, and there's your lower low. To start off the month, we want to see how it acts in this. If we go to VXX on the week, closer to coming back down, so you can see has it spike. That's what we wait for, especially if they start to take the air out of some of this VIX. Inside day to start off the new week. If we go to the Dow Jones Diamonds, didn't quite make the outside day, so that's potential rev strat to start. Inside day, 2 down, and if you go to the weekly, here, closer to a 2-2 reversal back to the upside. Remember, we got this. Higher high, 2-2 reversal. Lower low. Now we'll see if we get that much closer to doing that. So we'll see if that comes through. Cat, having some problems here. And so if we do start tanking here, you got Cat doing this shooter here. Stop them out. There's your higher high. Now you can weak enough to come back through all this stuff is what we're going to want to know about the new month. If we go to Disney, and Disney, still ugly on the month. The weekly, closer to a 2-2 reversal after trying to go out. So you see this, the higher high, the 2-2 reversal down. That's going to give you something like this to keep an eye on. Like so. If we go to Coke, a little boring, but Coke here on the week, potential rev strat week. Inside week pokes down, and Coke was green on the month. So Coke just got some exhaustion risk, but it's also going to be on the macro vid because it's inside year and up. So keep an eye on the Cokes. You can watch your XLP and friends over with that. McDonald's, also closer to a 2-2 hammered back to the upside on the week. And once again, the monthly going to be the problem. So that's going to be a lot of problems for a lot of things. We go to the transports. And trannies, outside month puker. The week, nowhere near taking this out. Right in the middle of it after this. What? 2 reversal on the week. Bash, slam. Right? So not too much over there. FedEx, closer to the 2-2 week, and we know it's been a slow grinder, but it comes in, slowly but surely trying to work its way up because now we got a new month and we're still watching this broadening formation here. Now you got a new month, right? See if we can start perking up. If anything, Rails, CSX, outside months on the week, that gives you this. Here. After the 2-2 reversal down, now potential hammer back up, and you can watch that with Norfolk Southern. It's looking somewhat similar here, and you got Union Pac as an inside week, so I can see if anything comes out of that. XLU, how are you going to get outside of that week? That's going to be a little tricky in that month. inside month. So you're nowhere near taking that out, so we'll see. If we go to gold, gold's going sideways and doing nothing, but you did have daily start to come down and see if it can hold these lows, this broadening formation, higher high, lower low. Because if you look at like JNOG, and you'll see this, question is, can it hold this stuff? Like so. Or does it keep puking? If it keeps puking, you got Newmont doing this. Potential 3, 2, 2 back down if they start hammering gold, and there's Newmont on the monthly. If we go to the financials, FAS, oh boy, how are you going to get outside of that? Look at a big outside month. If you go to XLF here, big outside month, how are you going to get outside of that? KRE in the regional banks, a little more interesting if they start hammering these things, because you got hammer, shooter after stopping them out up into here. So we'll see. If you got Bank of America, like I said, a lot of potential inside months, but it's a little bit closer to going 2-2 back up with PNC if the KRE holds. PNC a little bit closer to taking that 2-2 up. Wells Fargo a little bit closer to the 2-2 up. If we go to Visa, Visa ripping here, big outside weaker, and MA here. Remember this weekly we've been watching forever. So they messed with them and came all the way back down into the middle of the broadening formation and then blasted off. So we'll see if this is the real move finally after the real chop shop in there. If we go to Goldman Sachs, closer to a 2-2 month week to the reversal to the upside, but on the month, how are you going to get out of that? That's going to be a task. If we go to crude, UCO had the tick up there, so that's still holding on the weekly. Outside week, so that's going to be a broadening formation on the shorter time frame. XLE, a lot of these things hit some magnitude outside week there too, and that's going to, a lot of this stuff's going to be on the macro list after last month's rev strat here. So been higher in the past, so we'll see. Now we have to go into continuation mode instead of capturing the reversals off the rev strats and stuff. Go to OIH, and OIH on the month just stuck in here. Like a lot of these things are all outside weeks. So on the daily, potentially if they come into these things, you got the outside day, then the 2 downs for the potential 3-2-2 if they want to take it back up. And you know, a lot of people, when we have these good lists that we're watching, impatient. It's like you get the FOMO in here, and I'm like, just wait. They'll bring them in. They always do. Triangle out, 2 down, 2-2 reversal, and that got you in OIH. If we go to Exxon, it's got earnings on Tuesday. Exxon's got earnings on Tuesday, so be aware of that. And once again, monthly, exhaust, but you've been higher in the past. So now you just got to try and see if you can get these things to go 3-2 on the weakers. If you go to CLR, and CLR goes up and hits magnitude on the month. And just keeping an eye on some of these weeklies. You got that outside week, and like the OIH here, you got that. I think that's 3. Is that a 3? Yep, barely. But potential 3-2-2 to start off the week on the daily. If you go to PXD, outside inside day 3-1, and on the weekly, closer to going 2-2-2 back up into the recent highs. If we go to Oxy, another outside weaker. Good thing about Oxy, and look, a lot of these things have been a lot higher in the past. Oxy just going to start off the week as an inside day. If we go to Slob, so Slob starting off as a 3-1 inside day. Halliburton, also, so we go those inside days. We go to Helmerich Payne. And Helmerich Payne here got the slight down on the daily, so potential 2-2 reversal to come back through all this stuff, and if that works on the weekly, potential have the 3-2-2 back up. What's that with the OIH? If you go to RRC Range Resources, and here you can see stop all these guys out, 2 down, boom, potential 2-2 on the weaker. We'll keep an eye on that. If we go to Refiners, HFC, closer to a 2-2 reversal on the week. Once again, these monthly ranges are going to be the killers that are going to have to keep us on our toes and all this stuff. If we go to MPC, see that also potential 2-2 weaker, getting closer to the upside. If we go to XRT, weekly, middle of the range. Month, had a rough month, but stopped a bunch of these guys out. So if we go to Walmart, and Walmart a little tight in here, not doing much. Here's your weekly. You did stop a bunch of these guys out, but you're nowhere near taking that week out. That would have to change. If we go to Costco, a little better, potential to 2 down, 2 up on the week, but it's monthly. How are we going to get out of this thing? How are you going to get out of there? So be very aware of that. If you go to Target, potential stop them out on the weekly, closer to a 2-2 reversal to the upside. Still monthly issues over there. If we go to DG, another how you going to get out of that weekly, but you do start off the week as the potential rev strat, 1-2 down hammer. If we go to the IBB, and IBB had a rough one, another rough month. How are you going to get out of there in the week? It's middle of the range. XLV a little better here. And closer to the 2-2 reversal back up, but once again, ooh, that month. So, like I said, we got a bunch of earnings coming out there too. You got Abbott. Closer to the hammer, 2-2 week to the upside. Merck. Potential pivot machine gun off these guys on the weekly, take them out. Because Merck on the month, remember that big 3-2-2 reversal back up and green on the month and starting off is an inside day. Earnings coming on Thursday. If we go to Bristol Myers brings them in, stop them out. And weekly, potential rev strat, 1-2 to the downside for Bristol Myers. If we go to Pfizer closer to a 2 down, 2 up. Once again, Pfizer got some monthly problems. How are you going to get out of that? But we can watch them all together there. If you go to Amgen on the week, rev strat, 1-2 down. See if they want to bring it up. Gilead has earnings on Thursday. Just closer to a 2-2 up on the hammer, so we'll see and let them do what they want to do there. If you go to Centene, CNC, potential rev strat week, inside, 2 down, stops them out, hits magnitude by taking these guys out, now pops back up. If we go to NVAX got hit pretty hard, some monthly issues again, but you do have weekly hammer if they want to try and bring that up. If you go to Tech, SMH, nowhere near taking this out as it was, right? After last month's 1 bar rev strat, all right? Just like the Daily Spy on Friday, inside, boom, wham, slam down there. But for the day, you are closer to stop them out higher high, stop them out lower low, broadening formation in here, right? After the rev strat was real nice. Inside, 2 up, and then boom, down she went. So we'll see. Good XLK. How are you going to get outside of that? But a little bit better on the week. You're near the highs thanks to Apple. And then we're going to see if Microsoft can come back too here as well. Closer to a 2-2 reversal on that. Monthly still the issue. If we go to Facebook, we got earnings on Wednesday. The good thing is you got these lower lows, right? But the monthly going to be an issue. And so we'll see if you can get above this here. 309.53, got some distance on that. Amazon, closer to a 2-2 reversal. If you draw this out. Whoa! Where's it going, Rob? Right here. See that? There you go. Right like so. Now closer to that up because we knew on that monthly. I'm going to new highs. No, you're not. I'm going to new highs. No, you're not. And then, boom, stop out all these guys in one shot. It was a nice inside month to the downside, but now potential 2-2 back up. If we go to Netflix, oof, that monthly. Weekly, potential hammer. but it's kind of chopping around down in here, so just be careful. It's still dealing with its gap. If you go to Google, earnings on Tuesday, and Google, once again, here's that inside day, and then boom, inside day, outside day. And so we'll let it open month. And still the issue. Weekly, closer to the 2-2. If we go to NVIDIA, how are you going to get outside of this range on the week? That's a little bit of a problem because we did finish off the month here with that 2-1-2 reversal. That was nice for the nice slammer. And on the daily, potential 2-2 back up, but we got to get out of that week. That's going to be the issue there. Go to Agilent, letter A. Another rough month. Closer to the hammer 2-2 week reversal. Adobe, potential rev strap. Inside week, poke down, boom. Monthly, once again, the issue. If we go to AFRM, oh boy, smoked. Smoked after the 2-2 reversal here. People are like, it's oversold. Is it? It's just reversing. Boom. Takes all these guys out. Good thing for this thing is, once again, it's closer to going 2-2 reversal to start off the month. Go to Baidu. You can watch this with China. It's been a little tight, but Randy Jackson here. Inside bar, poke down, rev strat, but wasn't strong enough to take these guys out for magnitude. Now, if that fails, shooter counters hammer month and try and come back down through all this stuff. China's still in trouble. CRM. Also be aware that it's Chinese New Year's coming up and they shut down for a week. So for that, we should do that. Anyway, CRM had another rough month, but closer to the 2-2 reversal on the week. If we go to CrowdStrike, once again, rough month, but closer to a 2-2 reversal. Here's what you'll look for in the weekly. What was this? 2 up. Boom. Puke. If we get to FTNT, earnings on Thursday, closer to stop them out. Real nice. There's your broadening formation there, so closer to the 2-2. We'll let the earnings be aware of those earnings. Juniper, here, a little bit better. Potential 2-2 week hammer. If we go to LRCX, oh boy, smoked. But you took all these guys out. How are you not going to be an inside week would be the issue here. Because that big month, slam bone, down. But it's a 3. It's an outside bar. That's good. And so we can watch to start the week what it wants to do on the daily hammer and try and come back up. If we go to Overstock. Overstock, bludgeoned. So you can see if this was a 2-month pattern, these 2 months, everything's stuck in there, right? You got your back and forth, and then you finally got this, the 2-2 reversal slammer. But to start off the week, closer to 2-2 reversal. If you go to PayPal, earnings coming. PayPal closer to finally going 2-2 on the week. Monthly going to be the issue again there. VMW, one of the few that proud to tax it up. All right. That one's 2-2 month to the upside. So you can see this chop in here, but certainly was strong during a weak month in tech. So let's see if that follows through. W-Day got the 1 bar rev strat outside day on Friday. And potentially, that month is going to be a problem. It's just weekly. Potentially rev strat, hammer counter shooter, 1-2 down. So we'll see if that can do that. Just a few more. Alcoa. If the inflation trade falls down, you potential 3-2-2 back down with SCCO copper. Potential rev strat to the downside if that trade is out. Because it looks like, if anything over there, Nucor, how are you going to get outside of that? Going maybe closer to instead of inflation for the infrastructure move. So you got the stop out here, the higher high there, and you're closer to 2-2 up, X, STLD. So we'll see if anything comes of that steel. If you go to General Dynamics, and that's potential 2 down, 2 up on the week, because General Dynamics had a okay month, and LMT, they went out near the high. So far, those guys are holding up. If you go to DXCM, monthly the issue. And there was your 2 up, 2 down. You go to the weekly, though, you got a nice hammer here. They've beaten this thing to a pulp, so we'll see if anything comes of that. If we go to Tesla's, and Tesla's has your outside month. We knew about that, right? Some you'd want to know about. You go to the weekly. Here, how are you going to get outside of this range? The good thing is it's a big range, and we know Tesla can move around. So to start off the week, remember we had this last week. This was perfect. The 2 up, 2 down, boom, to take all these guys out in one shot. And then hammers start off. So if this is your broadening formation to start off the week. The higher high and the lower low, and it was real nice off the opening on Friday here. Right, goes into exhaustion risk. Right, did what it was supposed to do. And then right on the opening, boom, 2-2 reversal off the 15er, and off she went. Then gave it up a little in the afternoon. So we'll see. You do still have that hammer there. So lots of earnings, high VIX. Oftentimes that's hard to do. A lot of monthly issues. So we're going to let them open like we do, and then trade them the way we see them. That's going to do it for today. I'm Rob Smith, Missing the Black, the weekend bed.